Americans on college campuses to stand up for. It says a lot about where we've come over the last 50, 60 years. I grew up in Deep South. I grew up in days with KKK, Jim Crow, and segregation. I was the third black to get a scholarship at the University of Miami. So I know what it is to experience walking into a room and feeling hate. I know what it is just because of the color of my skin to be judged in a way of my character, my intelligence, whatever it might be. And that was something that we were getting past. We've come so far as a country, we had no idea what was simulating underneath the surface, what was being taught on our college campuses. The inability for Americans, for kids, to have empathy, to understand what hate and innate evil looks like, and to point it out, and instead stand on the other side and actually applaud it. So we're going to address this. I'm thankful now to be in a position in Congress and with education that we're going to look at what it is that we can now see as a nexus of hate in our college campuses, where whether it be Black Lives Matter, whether it be Antifa, whether it be pro-Hamas students that cover their faces, cover their masks, they're always covering themselves because they cannot boldly stand for what's so un-American. We're going to address it. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for, first of all, standing up for what's right, for having the courage to know that it might not be popular in that little circle that you might be in. But as a country, it's very, very popular. We fight for the rights of American people across this country. And I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for acknowledging and make sure that we never forget what's happening right now around the world. And for those people that we're still trying to get back, the hostages that need to be freed by this evil force of Hamas. It's an honor to stand before this university community and the Utah Jewish community to express our state and national unwavering support for Israel. On October 7th, Hamas terrorists massacred thousands of innocent Israelis, marking their deadliest day in Jewish history since the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Hamas represents pure evil, and I stand for Israel's right to defend itself from this terrorist organization, whose single goal is to wipe Israel off the map. And there will be no peace. There will be no pulling back until this terrorist group is totally eliminated.
No ceasefire.
At home in America, we have a clear moral failure on our college campuses. I'm appalled by the recent rise of anti-Semitism on our American college campuses. It is wrong, it is disturbing, and it must stop. At Cooper Union in New York, and I like for you guys to think about it in this way. Again, I take this personally. I know what it was, again, to have, in my day when I was 12 years old, to see black college kids sitting at counters for the right to be there, to try to go into movie theaters. So I know it is that this generation, the important it is for you guys to stand for what it is. As I talk about the Jewish community, separate that or link that with the black community. Just make that transition of who I'm talking about, and you see how wrong it really is what's going on in college camps today. When I talk about Hamas, think about the KKK. Those that we know were evil. There's some evil things. Separate transpose those names on this, and you start to see that we, in no sense, should be going back to the days in which I grew up and that we were so far away from. At Cooper Union in New York, the Jewish community, the Jewish students, imagine if it was black students, were forced to lock themselves in a college library as protesters pounded on the doors and windows. And as a Cornell history professor called Hamas, separate out the KKK, attacks exhilarating and energizing. A Yale University called October 7th an extraordinary day, labeled Israel as a murderous, genocidal settler state. At the University of Maryland, Holocaust 2.0 was graffitied on the campus following a pro-Palestinian or pro-Hamas rally.
Jesus.
At MIT, Jewish students were physically blocked from their classrooms by hostile anti-Israel students. As these reports of harassment, intimidation, and violence against Jewish students came to light, we immediately mobilized our subcommittee into action. Colleges that failed to stand up against this outbreak of anti-Semitism shouldn't receive 1 cent of American taxpayer dollars. Just this last week, the Higher Education Workforce Development held a hearing to combat the spread of anti-Semitism on college campuses and root out the causes of this moral decline we're seeing in our higher education. I led a House resolution that passed with only 23 dissenting voices or votes, combating anti-Semitism in higher American education. We called for U.S. universities, including Columbia, Cornell, Harvard, University of Penn, and Yale, to address the rise in pro-Hamas and anti-Semitism as we're seeing on these college campuses. And we pushed for the immediate freeze of $6 billion in Iranian funds released as part of the prisoners swap. We called on President Biden to revoke the visas of foreign nationals who endorse or espouse activities in support of Hamas and its backers. Demanded the deportation of any student, visa holders involved in the pro-Hamas or pro-Hezbollah protests. We continue to work tirelessly to support Israel and wipe out anti-Semitism on our college campuses in every corner of our country. I want to close by mentioning something that the mainstream media has shielded away from. 290,000 people just a couple of days ago marched in Washington, D.C. this week in support of Israel. It's the largest gathering of American Jews ever. Notice how they didn't cover their faces. Notice that no one ripped down an American flag. Notice there's no violence against police. No one will ever distinguish the light of our friend and our ally, Israel. And I stand before you among many millions and millions of Americans who understand our friendship, our allies, Israel, what they stand for as a light in that part of the country, as we are the light for the rest of the world. The light will never be extinguished. We, the people, will come together and fight for the freedom, for the rights, to survive, and against total evil. We always have, we always will. And I think I'm thankful for you, first of all, for being here to give your voice, for your presence, and just know that we're behind you 100%. And we're going to get through this. The American people always have, we always will, because we do believe in doing the right things and being on the right side. And we will be on the right side of history, my friends. So thank you so much. And Lucy, if I can come back up. Thank you, Lucy. Appreciate it.